Hello. I've never made a video like this before, but I've had some profound experiences over the last few months, and I really felt compelled to share those experiences with whoever's willing to listen. um, this year has been the year of self-love awakening for me, I would say. Briefly, I'll just go over how it began. At the start of the year, I went to a all-women's wellness festival called Seven Sisters. I travelled up alone to Mount Martha, and I camped there alone as I was volunteering for a few days before the festival started. This is something I've never done before. Physically put myself in such a vulnerable and isolated position where I literally knew no one or the surroundings around me. I only had like my car and my intuition. So that was something I'd never done before, even trusting so heavily in my intuition. That was the first step, I guess, towards unlocking the road to self-love. The festival provides a very safe and sacred space for women. It also entails a weekend worth of workshops. These workshops range from yoga workshops to dance workshops to arts and crafts to real trauma release techniques to, body image and sexual release, etc., etc. Is literally something for everyone there. I had this very incredible experience going to this one particular workshop called Love Your Body, Love Yourself by this woman called Luna Gaia. I had never met nor heard of Luna Gaia before, and I was very much under the impression of what I thought the talk would be. But nonetheless, I still went with an open mind to hear what she had to say. It was not only what she said, but her actions and the emotion and the potency behind everything that she was doing that had such a deep and profound impact on myself, and I'm sure the 200 plus women that were in that tent as well. Despite only having spoken for just under an hour, she had completely changed my perspective on the way that I was looking at myself. I had constantly been assuring myself that I was happy with the way that I looked and the way that I was, when in reality, she made me realize that, in fact, I wasn't. And it was a very harsh reality to kind of come to after so many years of telling myself that I was happy, I was happy. Then a few weeks later, when the festival was over, back in the real world, I reached out to Luna. Well, Luna and I actually reached out to each other. And we started talking, and then I got involved in one of her 8-week self-love awareness collective courses. Self-love awakening is what she calls it. So this 8 weeks consists of 2 times a week for a bit over an hour each time, some coaching sessions as well as teaching and learning sessions. So she will have her content, and it's sometimes collaborative learning, sometimes she will be talking, and there are so many different ideas to be explored. So she, very briefly, she'll talk about, talking to your inner child, listening to what it is that your body is trying to tell you, conceptualizing that in words or colors or feelings, practicing to change your language to create your reality. This is through the use of positive reinforcement language, and a whole plethora of other incredible practices that help you conceptualize why it is that you're thinking the way that you are, and then gives you very useful tools to implement these new practices in real life. So not only does she teach self-love, she teaches you why we have been conditioned to think this way, and normalizing that it's not just you that hates yourself. it is the way that, especially as women, society has been conditioning us to believe for many, many, many generations that we are not good enough and we need this or that or whatever else it is that we're being sold to be better and to be the best. And still with those things, we are still not good enough. So this course aims to really dismantle those really deeply entrenched societal views that are like in our bodies, like we are harboring this, like we are feeling this physically in our body, like the pain that we feel is that resentment that we have been conditioned to believe from society or from relationships such as your family, your friends, your work colleagues, or your intimate relationships. All of these relationships and interactions have a massive impact in how you perceive yourself. And in turn, how you perceive yourself has a massive impact on your relationships and interactions. If you do not love yourself, how are you meant to love somebody else? If you do not accept yourself, how are you meant to accept somebody else? That is the conclusion, essentially, that I have slowly been coming to over the course of... This has been an 8-month process, still very much in the works. By no means or no way, shape or form have I ever come to a conclusion, as in an end to this work. It is a constant day by day by day practice. It's a ritual that you need to implement every day in order for it to become your truth. Acceptance and surrendering and living the truth of what it is that you are, then slowly you will learn to love that part. And then you'll realize, as Luna says, that all of you is welcome and all of everyone is welcome all the time. There is never a right or a wrong or a this or a that. It's all just what it is. It just exists simply, and that's okay. I can exist simply as I am, and you can exist simply as you are, and so can the person on the left and the person on the right and whoever's up and down. We are all simply the same, but different, and that's okay. Like, I think that in order to be able to come to a point where you stop judging other people, you have to stop judging yourself. There's no choice in that. Self-love starts with the self, but then eventually the whole world feels it. It might sound cliche, but it's true. When you love yourself, you start to project that. And if everyone starts to love themselves, then everyone is projecting love. So, having said all that, if anyone is interested in contacting me further about my experience with Luna Gaia and the Self-Love Awakening Collective, please feel welcome to contact me. I'm very happy to share information if need be, as well as referring you guys onto Luna. I will obviously provide links to her website and her Facebook page, etc., etc. So if anyone is interested, they are more than welcome to contact her and to look into her content themselves. I hope that whatever I've said today, if anything, has resonated with someone, possibly. If not, that's fine. But I just really wanted to share my experience. I felt, as I said at the start, I felt very compelled to talk about my experience, as I've never really done something like this before, and I feel as if a lot of people could benefit from these sorts of practices. So yeah, thank you.